Hey everyone, if you're feeling like you're drowning in emails and meetings and you can't get any actual work done, this deep dive is for you. We're going to be talking about Microsoft's latest updates to their 365 Copilot AI suite. And let me tell you, they've really upped their game this time around. We've got two great sources for this deep dive. We have Microsoft's own blog post, which lays out all the details. And we also have analysis from industry experts, which will give us a nice broader perspective. And trust me, you're going to want to hear about this, especially when we get to the part about using Python and Excel without, actually having to code. But first, let's set the stage. Microsoft is calling this 365 Copilot Wave 2. And it's about a lot more than just adding a few bells and whistles. This is about transforming the way we work from the ground up. One of the biggest changes is this new thing called Copilot Pages. So imagine this.
You're on a team at like an EV charging company, and you're trying to land a huge contract with LAX Airport. You've got data coming in from all directions, web searches, internal documents, spreadsheets. It's overwhelming. This is where Copilot Pages comes in. It's like having a giant digital whiteboard where you and your team and the AI can all work together in real time. Let's say you need to know how many passengers LAX sees each day. Copilot Pages can pull that information directly from the web and add it to your page. At the same time, your colleague might be adding notes from a previous meeting on a similar project, while Copilot digs through your company's files to find relevant data about EV charging station usage. And what's really fascinating here is that it's not just about collecting information in one place. Copilot Pages can actually help make sense of it all. It connects the dots between different data points and highlights key insights. And because it's all happening in real time, you can collaborate with your team seamlessly, no matter where they are.
This is huge GE. It's taking what used to be so siloed and often really frustrating, gathering information, analyzing it, then trying to collaborate with your team, and turns it into a dynamic AI-powered workspace.
And if you think that's cool, just wait till you hear how they've integrated AI into the heart of Microsoft 365. I'm talking about good old Excel, which, may sound a little dry at first, but stick with me because this is where things get really interesting, especially for anyone who's ever, felt limited by those spreadsheets.
Yeah, you're right. Excel has always been a bit of a love-hate relationship for a lot of people. Super powerful, yes, but also potentially really complicated. Well, now imagine harnessing the power of Python. You know that programming language that data scientists use directly within Excel?
Okay, hold on. You lose me a little bit. I am no data scientist, and frankly, even just the word Python makes me think more of like scary snakes than spreadsheets. What's the big deal here?
So it's all about making data analysis accessible to everybody. Python can do some pretty amazing things, like it can unlock these really deep insights from your data. But traditionally, you'd need to know how to code in order to use it.
So what you're saying is I can now become some kind of data wizard without having to learn like an entirely new language.
You got it. Let's say you want to analyze your sales trends. In the past, you might have spent hours creating these complex formulas and pivot tables. Well, now you can simply ask Copilot in plain English, something like, show me our top performing product categories by revenue for the last quarter. And Copilot just takes care of it. It pulls data from your spreadsheets, analyzes it, it even creates visualizations, all without you having to write a single line of code.
It's like having a personal data analyst on call 24/7. But this isn't about replacing your own analytical skills, is it?
Not at all. You're still the one asking the questions, and you're the one deciding what to do with those insights. Copilot just helps you get there faster and more efficiently. It's like having a superpowered assistant who can handle all those tedious parts of data analysis, which frees you up to actually focus on what really matters, like understanding the why behind the numbers and making strategic decisions.
And that's what has people so excited about this next wave of AI tools. It's not about being replaced by robots. It's about being given superpowers to work smarter, not harder. And speaking of superpowers, let's move on to some other areas where Copilot is lending a helping hand. We've talked about how Copilot is changing the game for collaboration and for data analysis, but what about all those like everyday tasks that just eat up our time? Like wrestling with PowerPoint presentations or feeling like you're drowning in emails?
You're really speaking my language with those. But in all seriousness, Microsoft hasn't forgotten about those pain points. In fact, they've actually brought Copilot into some of the most used tools in the 365 suite. And I'm talking about start with PowerPoint.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What can Copilot do for those of us who just, dread creating presentations from scratch?
So just imagine this. You're staring at a blank slide. You feel that familiar wave of presentation anxiety washing over you. You kind of know what you want to say, but getting it all structured and making it look good, it just feels daunting.
Yeah. Been there, done that, got the stress headaches to prove it. So how does Copilot change the game?
Well, with this new feature called Narrative Builder, and it basically acts as your AI presentation coach. You give Copilot a really basic outline of the presentation, your key talking points, maybe some rough ideas, and then you just watch it go. It can pull in relevant content from your company's files, it can suggest images and graphics, it even makes sure that the entire thing is aligned with your brand guidelines.
Wait, so it's like having a design team and like a research assistant all rolled into one,
Mm-hmm.
but without the awkward small talk by the water cooler.
Exactly. And the best part is you keep complete creative control. Copilot is providing the building blocks, but you decide how to arrange them, what story you want to tell, and how best to engage your audience. It's really all about making that process faster and smoother and, dare I say, even kind of enjoyable.
Okay, you sold me on PowerPoint. But
Yeah.
let's talk about, I think, the elephant in the room here, which is email. Is there anything that can actually, like, save us from this endless cycle of inbox anxiety?
I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear that Copilot has some thoughts on that too. Outlook's new Prioritize My Inbox feature. It's basically like having a personal assistant who can tell which messages actually need your attention and which ones can maybe wait a little bit.
You mean besides the ones that are like, you've won a free cruise or, we can boost your website traffic? How does it actually work?
Well, Copilot analyzes your emails, and it's looking at a few things. It's considering your role, your priorities, even who you've been communicating with most frequently. And it learns to recognize things like urgent requests or important project updates, even those kind of subtle cues that suggest that a message really needs your immediate attention.
So it's not just about like filtering out the spam. It's actually understand the context of my work
Yeah.
and then prioritizing accordingly.
Precisely. So imagine this. You're working on a major product launch,
Yeah.
and your inbox is just flooded with messages. Copilot can identify those emails from like your core team members, your key stakeholders, even like vendors that are related to that launch. So it makes sure that those messages like rise to the top, no more crucial updates getting lost in the shuffle.
Okay, that alone is a game changer for anyone who's ever, missed an important deadline because an email got buried.
Right.
But Copilot's impact on the way we work goes even further than this, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've honestly just scratched the surface. From AI-powered transcription and summarization for your Teams meetings to a Copilot feature in OneDrive that can help you find the exact document you need in seconds, even if you can't remember the file name. Microsoft is really weaving AI into like every facet of the 365 suite.
It's like having a whole team of these like invisible assistants working behind the scenes just to make our work lives a little bit easier, a little bit more efficient, and maybe a little less chaotic.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about efficiency. It's really about, freeing us up to focus on the things that truly matter, the strategic thinking, the creative problem solving, the human connections that really drive meaningful work.
This has been an amazing deep dive into this world of AI-powered productivity. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling excited and a little overwhelmed with all these possibilities.
It's a lot to take in for sure. But I think the key takeaway here is this. We are really on the cusp of a major shift in the way we work. And tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot are leading the charge.
So whether you are a spreadsheet guru, a presentation pro, or just someone who wants to, reclaim a few precious hours in their day, these new features offer, I think, a really exciting glimpse into a future where AI empowers us to work smarter and not harder.
Yeah, the question is, what will you do with that extra time and energy?
That is something for all of you to ponder. We've got links to Microsoft's blog posts and a bunch of other great resources in our show notes. So if you want to dive a little deeper, you can check those out. Until next time, happy collaborating, everyone.